Alright, man, I'm just gonna get straight to the point. WWE needs to stop doing Saturday Night's Main Event. This needs to stop. I am sick and tired of this. The commercials on this show, man. The commercials on Saturday Night's Main Event, it's just frustrating. And it's one of the worst, if not the worst experience you can possibly have while watching a wrestling show. This is one of the worst possible formats for a wrestling show. So let me get this straight. This show has 4 matches. That's right, you thought the 5-match format was bad? Well, now here we go. We got 4 matches now. So yeah, we got 4 matches on the show, and every single match, man, in between every single match, we get like a 10-minute commercial. Okay, not 10 minutes, obviously. We get like a 5-minute commercial before each and every single match. And that's not even where the problem stops. We get a commercial in between the matches as well. And I'm not talking just one commercial or anything. We get like 2 or 3 commercials per match. So think about it. We get a commercial before a match, and then we get 2 commercials or 3 commercials within the match, and then we get a commercial after the match. What the hell, man? What the hell? WWE needs to be stopped. This is getting frustrating. This might actually be up there as one of the worst shows I've ever watched. I mean, it's easily the worst show of the year. The worst PLE of the year, in my opinion. This was just horrible, man. Just straight up horrible. Because first of all, the card is looking really stinky here. And the fact that it's in the format of a Saturday Night's Main Event makes it so much worse. So yeah, here we go, guys. Without further ado, let's review Saturday Night's Main Event. Let's get into the show match by match. So the show kicked off with Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. And obviously, Randy Orton came out with Jelly Roll. So yeah, this is officially a thing now. They're obviously going to be building up to this match, this tag match. It's really sad, dude. It really is sad. It makes no sense whatsoever. WWE sabotaging the story with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre just for some clicks, just for some views. There's no reason why you gotta add Jelly Roll to this. If you really wanted to get some views out of Jelly Roll, couldn't you put him in a match with like The Miz or something? Or maybe Waller or Theory? I don't even know. Like, come on, man. Well, why you gotta put him up there with Randy Orton? We're wasting Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre for this guy. Are you kidding me, man? And Drew McIntyre, did Drew McIntyre have sex with Stephanie McMahon or something? Why does Triple H hate this guy so much? What did he do? Why is he being punished like this? Why is Drew McIntyre going through a humiliation ritual? So that's what he gets, huh? After being the best wrestler of 2024 in WWE, having great promos, cutting great promos, having great matches, just his character work, man. His character work was elite. And after all that, this is the reward he gets. Get out of here, man. Anyways, yeah, this was a mediocre match. Really nothing, there's nothing to talk about here. I mean, maybe the fact that we get, some involvement from Logan Paul and Jelly Roll in this match. Jelly Roll starts throwing like right hands on Logan Paul, and we're supposed to, actually treat this like a big deal. Michael Cole is going like, oh my God, Jelly Roll, oh my God. And we're supposed to actually, be as excited as Michael Cole. Are you kidding me, man? For Jelly Roll. Anyways, then Drew McIntyre beats Randy Orton, and then, Jelly Roll gets in the ring, and he's checking on Randy Orton, and, Drew McIntyre hits Jelly Roll with a Claymore, and Michael Cole's again, like, all excited, oh my God, Jelly Roll's brain just turned to jelly, oh my God, he got hit with a Claymore. Shut up, man. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this, man. So anyways, later on in the show, we see a backstage segment where Randy Orton's like, oh my God, Jelly, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have taken you out there. It's all my fault. And then anyways, Jelly Roll's all like, oh my God, no, don't worry about it, Randy. I'm a grown-ass man. I make my own decisions. As a matter of fact, let's go to SummerSlam and take on Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. And Randy Orton's like, oh my God, yes, let's do it. We are RK Roll. RK Roll. Are you kidding me, man? This is what you have. This is the best thing you have for Randy Orton right now. You just had him put on a great match against Cody Rhodes and, King and Queen of the Ring. You had him lose. You had him tease a story with Cody Rhodes. And now you have him being RK Roll. Triple H, man. This is Triple H WWE for you, all right? This is just sickening, man. Beyond sickening. And, like, what's the thought process here of Drew McIntyre and kayfabe? Why is he teaming up with Logan Paul? Why would Drew McIntyre be willing to team up with Logan Paul? He does not like Logan Paul. Logan Paul does not like Drew McIntyre. They have no reason to get along. They have no reason to team up. And Randy Orton, guess what? Randy Orton has no reason to team up with Jelly Roll either. Why is Randy Orton worried about Jelly Roll? He has so much on his plate. He's got Drew McIntyre, he's got Cody Rhodes, he's got John Cena, and the thing he's most worried about is the fact that Logan Paul disrespected Jelly Roll. I'm sorry, man. This is just terrible. This is trash. This is just straight up garbage that WWE's been feeding us. And for some reason, some people on the internet are actually calling this great, or actually calling this entertaining. It's not. It's not entertaining, alright? At least if the segments we got were even remotely fun, I would kind of let this slide a little bit, you know? As much as I don't like celebrity involvement in the main event scene, I would let it slide, at least if it was funny. At least if it was fun. This is not fun. What is Jelly Roll doing right now that's fun? Is he actually cutting funny promos or, fun promos? No, he's not. He's not doing anything. So yeah, this whole thing is just one big giant mess that, it's really gonna bite WWE in the ass. Like, WWE is just getting unfathomably bad at this point. Like, even just a couple of months ago, when, WWE was really bad, you still couldn't have convinced me that, Jelly Roll would be involved in Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre storyline. Even though WWE was trash at that point in time, I still wouldn't have believed you if you told me that we would be getting Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. I would have said, like, there's no way WWE gets that bad, right? But unfortunately, here we are. Kenny Omega was right, dude. Kenny Omega was right when he said that with the direction that WWE's heading in, we're going to get Mr. Beast versus Logan Paul in the main event of WrestleMania at this point. I really wouldn't be surprised at this point. This company is getting desperate. They're doing everything they can possibly do to be desperate for numbers, for views, for clicks, and it's really getting sickening. It's really ruining their long-term plans, if they even have any. So, it really just sucks. Whatever, man. I'm just done talking about this. Let's just move on. Anyways, then we get Solakoa versus Jimmy Uso. And it's like, who cares about this, man? Who cares about the Bloodline lore in 2025? Solakoa versus Jimmy Uso for the U.S. Championship. That's the match. The only person happy while watching this is Rikishi. Nobody else cares about this. So get out of here. Solakoa obviously retains. Nobody cares. You got a roster with guys like Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and Ray Phoenix. Who else, man? Aleister Black. Even Damian Priest, dude. Even Damian Priest. Like, we got so many possible choices for the U.S. Championship, and you went with Solakoa. Are you kidding me, man? Get out of here. Anyways, let's just move on. There's really nothing to talk about here. Solakoa wins. So yeah, that's just it. Let's just move on. Then we got Seth freaking Rollins versus LA Knight. Yeah! So yeah, obviously the biggest thing we got to talk about in this match is the fact that Seth Rollins got injured. That's really sad because, Seth Rollins obviously last year on the road to Mania 40 and at Mania 40 itself, he was still fighting. He was wrestling even with an injury, even with like a broken back, a broken knee, a broken everything. And he just came back healthy just a few months ago. So it's really sad to see him hurt once again. Apparently Seth Rollins called an audible to have LA Knight win the match. That was really cool, man. Seth Rollins is just a man. Give Seth Rollins his flowers. This whole run with his faction, I keep forgetting. I was like, oh, what's their name, by the way? I keep forgetting that they don't even have a name. But yeah, that's a story for another time. But yeah, because this whole story with Seth Rollins' faction is so bad, it's had a lot of people forget how great Seth Rollins is, how integral Seth Rollins is for the WWE. Without him, now I think a lot of plans are gonna crumble because, like I said, even though the story wasn't good with Seth Rollins' faction, at least it was something. Now, without that, WWE's going to have no plans whatsoever, and now, they're just going to come up with a bunch of thrown together nonsense. I mean, maybe it's not really going to change, because everything WWE's been doing in 2025 is just thrown together nonsense. So maybe we're not going to, feel that much of a change, but most importantly, I'm just sad that Seth Rollins got hurt. He did not deserve this, man. It's just sad, dude. Injuries in wrestling are always sad, and the fact that this happened on the same day that Adam Cole announced his, health issues, it's just sad, man. It's really sad. I really hope it's not anything too serious, and I really hope that Seth Rollins does come back real soon. Get well soon, Seth freaking Rollins. So yeah, LA Knight wins the match, and that's about it. Let's just move on. And now it's time for the main event. Yeah, guys, we're already in the main event, because this show's got only 4 matches. Now it's time for the main event. We get Gunther versus Goldberg. Obviously, Goldberg gets a pretty long entrance for his final match. We got a lot of people, a lot of his friends and family. And yeah, we get the match, and it's not bad. It's not, okay, maybe it was a little bad, but it was good for Goldberg standards. Considering the standards that Goldberg has set, this was a good match for him. But objectively, this was a pretty bad match. Really boring, a lot of moves that just, didn't look good straight up. But like I said, for Goldberg standards, this was pretty good. So It was an acceptable match. That's all I'm going to say. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. Just acceptable. So yeah, we got a ref bump in the match, by the way, randomly. And, I think this is where Seth Rollins was supposed to cash in. Because, really the ref bump didn't lead to anything. So yeah, that was kind of weird, Like, why did the ref even take the bump? That was of no use whatsoever. You just had Charles Robinson take a bump for no reason. So yeah, that was kind of weird. And then obviously Gunther chokes out Goldberg and wins the match. And Gunther, by the way, celebrates for about 30 seconds. And then we go back to commercial. We go straight to commercial. And then we come back from commercial. And Michael Cole's all like, Goldberg, the entire night is about you, so please tell us how you feel. And Goldberg gives a retirement speech for about 30 seconds, and then we go back to commercial. That's it. They just they just cut him off. Poor guy, man. They just cut him off. I'm not even a Goldberg fan, but come on, man. He deserves better. I felt bad for Goldberg. Michael Cole is all like, oh my god, Goldberg, tonight's all about you, and he gets 30 seconds of the night. Come on, man. That's just stupid as hell. Goldberg deserves better than that. Come on. Like I said, I don't even like him that much. But, come on. He's still a legend at the end of the day. You gotta admit that. And the fact that in this final match, you give him 30 seconds. It's just... I don't even know what to say, man. If John Cena retires at Saturday Night's Main Event, and he gets 30 seconds for his retirement speech, I am gonna punch a hole through my TV. So yeah, that is it for Saturday Night's Main Event. Or more like Saturday Night's commercials. We just got 3 mid matches. And of course the Goldberg match, it was just it never happened, I'm just going to forget about it the next day. I just know it. This was not memorable. It was super rushed. It didn't even feel like Goldberg's retirement match because you gave him 30 seconds in his retirement speech. So yeah, this was a pretty bad Saturday Night's Main Event. Even worse than the last one in my opinion. And the last one was horrible, dude. So yeah, this one was just straight up garbage, straight up terrible. I'm going to give this a 0.25 out of 10. I'm not even kidding, guys. It was that bad. So yeah, with that being said, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.